Hi everyone, this is Frank. Hopefully you've watched the overview video for the Strat Think Frank method. It's really important you watch that video to understand the context of this next video. Please go back and click on the overview tab for that video if you haven't. If you have watched it, then you're ready to learn how to use the Strat Think Frank method. So how does this work? There are three themes which drive this process. Strat represents strategy. It's the method you think using may help to solve your problem. Now you want to start very general here and not specific. We will get more specific as we use the method. For example, if your problem is being, say, overweight, the strategy can be a diet. Think represents your thoughts about the problem and the strategy you will use to solve it. Continuing the example, your thoughts about being overweight and dieting might be carbohydrates. Frank represents truthfulness and honesty with oneself. Continuing again, your truthful and honest self indicates that you like carbohydrates. They are something you eat all the time, but ultimately may be leading to you being overweight. Now, we are on the first level, so let's reiterate the example for each theme. You can be as general or specific as you want in the first part. For simplicity, we will use the example before of being overweight. For Strat, we will use the example of a diet. For Think, we will think about carbohydrates. For Frank, we will admit that we eat too many carbohydrates. Here you can see the blank diagram. Let's fill it in based on our example. So we have defined our problem at the top. We have filled in diet for Strat, carbohydrates for Think, and excess carbs in diet for Frank. This is the first level of utilizing the Strat Think Frank method. You continue another cycle of the technique. By doing so, you get more specific in your approach. Ultimately, you will find a strategy that will be specific and focused enough to move you along, or you might find an item that's really holding you back. Maybe you will finally be honest with yourself about an issue that, when found, will open you up to success. It's also possible to find all three at the same time. The point is to find something specific that, when acted upon, will make significant changes and fast. Let's continue the example and progress to level 2. Just remember that you want to get more specific. The next step, you will get to choose a theme. The theme you choose will funnel you in a direction, but don't worry about which direction it goes. Just be logical and stay true to each theme. If carbohydrates are something you like, and you eat too much of them, you need to find a strategy that will allow you to eat less carbohydrates or like them less. So the new strategy could be either cut out carbohydrates, eat fewer carbohydrates, or slowly wean off of carbohydrates. How you decide this next step could be either, Frank, I know that I won't be able to instantly remove carbs, so I might as well make a plan to wean off of carbs. Or you could be using Think. I just saw a low-carb diet on the internet which looked really good. So here is what the diagram for level 2 would look like. It includes all of the things we talked about in our example. The strategies we thought of, the honesty with ourselves, the thoughts we had about a low-carb diet. If you decide to wean off of carbs, you need to develop a strategy for weaning off carbs. Frank, I don't even know how many carbs I currently eat. Think, I can find out how many I eat by downloading a calorie counter app. Strat, download a calorie counting app, then track how many carbs I eat. Think, after getting a baseline, I can make a plan for slowly cutting down on carbs. So you can see how we've gotten ourselves to find a specific action to take which will move us forward. In this case, the rate-limiting factor is not knowing how many carbs the person eats. And the pertinent or most important action to take at this point is to download the calorie counting app. This is at the third level. However, the form of which you take doesn't have to be this clean or organized. You can go through, say, Think or Frank levels multiple times before going to the Strat if you don't find a strategy that time around. It's okay because the form is flexible. The example I used here was just very clean so that you get the idea. You see how this technique methodically finds the solutions to problems? You can continue this cycle as you take action and reassess your circumstances. Like I said, it leads to finding the most important part of the problem, which is based on your strategy. In this case, it's finding out how many carbs the person eats currently, and downloading an app was the solution. After they have established a baseline, they should use the Strat Think Frank method again to continue to find the most important issues or the rate-limiting factors going forward. Repetition is the key. Each time, you can go as many levels deep as you like. Remember to get more specific each time, as you will find more relevant and easy actions to take. After you've found solutions and actions and then performed them, repeat the technique again based on new issues that have arisen. Use lots of scrap paper or a grease board. You want to try this over and over again until you get used to it. Your mind will learn the process. This is going to conclude this video. I encourage you to practice this technique many times. Let me know what you think about it and what results you've gotten. Good luck out there, and I hope to hear from you soon.